We are excited to be here today with some awesome agents from all over the country. Today we have JC Olson from Manhattan Beach in California. And yes, I did say Manhattan and Beach in the same sentence, right? Not Manhattan, New York City, but Manhattan Beach in California. We also have Stacy Kelly. Oh my gosh, look at her backyard. It is
Wow.
beautiful. And she's going to be telling you and showcasing that a little bit shortly. And finally, we have Lance, who is just across the road. You know, he's in New Jersey, Northern New Jersey. And we're going to be talking to each of them, and they're going to tell us what's happening in their backyard. How is the market? What is on the market? What's that in gem? Where should we visit? And finally, they're going to leave a tip for all sellers and buyers. Well, thanks once again for coming today. I appreciate it. I'm going to kick it off. Stacy, since we want to see your backyard, why don't you start off by introducing yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm Stacy K. Kelly. I am a co-partner of the Rule on Kelly team that's located in Snowmass Village, which is just 8 short miles away from Aspen. We have been, the top 2% within Douglas Elliman real estate for the past 2 years. And we're hoping to continue that. And in the meantime, we're going to live here.
Awesome. Well, that is not a shabby place to live. I am jealous right now, I tell you. Okay, we're going to go to the beach, Manhattan Beach, and we're going to have JC introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm JC Olson with Douglas Elliman here in Manhattan Beach, and that's the South Bay, the beach cities, Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo. I moved here about 5 years ago from Dallas. I was licensed in Texas and then got my license here about 4 years ago. And so cover the South Bay area, the beach cities, and some up into LA, like Santa Monica, Westchester, Culver City, stuff like that. So.
Great. Glad to have you.
I'm still in sticker shock still, 5 years later, from the price of real estate in Texas to the price out here. It's not going away yet.
Wow. Well, you'll tell us a little bit more about that shortly. And finally, we're going to Lance, who is, just across in New Jersey. Lance, introduce yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Kaylin, for having me on. This is very nice, and nice to meet you, Stacy and JC, virtually. So my name is Lance Maiden. I'm a realtor with Christie's International of Northern New Jersey, and I'm located in Bergen County in Northern New Jersey, which is just across the George Washington Bridge and only a few miles away from Manhattan. So we're very close, and Bergen County is huge. There's over 70 municipalities, and it's one of the counties in the country that's doing very well economically. And there's many different types of homes here. Probably the largest would be the basic 3 to 4 bedroom home for a typical type of family. And those range from 300,000 up until about 800,000 in that range.
Okay, great. Well, since you start by telling us prices and range, tell us today what's happening. I mean, a lot of New Yorkers move to New Jersey when they think about buying homes, right? Some will stay in the city, others will go to New Jersey or Connecticut, Westchester, Long Island, but definitely Northern Jersey is one of those areas that you'll find a lot of New Yorkers moving to. Tell us, what is the market like today? What's happening there in terms of sales, in terms of current prices, and are you showing at this time?
Well, that's an excellent question. And with the pandemic and everything that's going on, there is a definite transition of New Yorkers that are moving west into New Jersey and Pennsylvania to have more of a backyard and kind of get away from the city and all the little bit of tension that's going on over there. I was showing houses over the weekend throughout northern New Jersey, and there is activity. There are lots of showings happening. There are plenty of buyers that are looking to purchase. Open houses has not opened up yet. That's been closed. But from what I hear, it's opening up June 15th in the state of New Jersey. And then we'll be able to have some more flexibility to show the buyers what's available. It, as far as condos, there's apartments, there's lots of other opportunities, but that's primarily what's happening. All the real estate agents are using all their precautions with masks and gloves, and we're having a limited amount of people in the home at one time. Sometimes we're taking turns where one person comes in, another one goes out, and many of the brokers out here are having their clients and sellers also sign these COVID-19 release forms, which is kind of like a standard practice out east, where we're just advising everyone of the precautions and letting them acknowledge that.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
We are going to go to the West Coast. And there are a lot of New Yorkers who are bi-coastal. So they're like, we've got to be in the city, but one is not enough. So we're going to live in New York, and we're also going to have a home in California. So we have a lot of that. And when you talk about Manhattan and Manhattan Beach, I can just like imagine what's going on there. JC, will you tell us more about the market? What's happening in your backyard?
Yes, so early May, the restrictions lifted where we could view properties again, similar to what Lance was saying. We have to wear gloves, masks, and sign special disclosures, all parties, sellers, agents, and buyers. But it's great because now we can get in, we can do viewings again. And we missed March, April, May, basically. So that's like the spring season when everything was gearing up and heating up and going active. So we really have all this pent up demand. And now that they've lifted it, it's like, it's what I've experienced is it's crazy out there. I've had buyers, we put in an offer, that property received over 20 offers. Other buyers, we put in an offer on a different property and there were over 14. They countered 4 of us and we actually won escrow on that at $92,000 over asking price. Crazy, yes. And then I had a listing.
Tell us a little more about that, JC. $92,000 over asking in this market today.
Right, and a request from the seller to waive your appraisal contingency, because obviously it's the price got driven up so high with the multiple offers. So it's very competitive out there. I mean, under $2 million here is kind of a mainstream market, and that market really has not been affected. It's still very, very active. The luxury market over that price point's been hit a little bit more in Southern California, but it's still got a lot of activity. Things are still selling, it's still selling every week. I keep a little search going of what's gone active, under contract, and closed every week. And Manhattan Beach is still very active. And I don't want to say healthy because it's still, this is still like a new world that we're entering, but it's still very active. And then, for example, I had another listing that went active on Friday morning. And so we scheduled showings Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every 15 minutes so that, there weren't a lot of people. You had to rotate through. And I had 26 showings in those 3 days, and we received 6 offers.
Wow.
So it's going well. I mean, it's busy.
That is awesome. I mean, you listen, and I don't know for you guys, but one of the first questions that I get asked is like, what's happening in the real estate market? A lot of people just think it's dead. I can say in New York City, we are not showing like that, but there is still some activity. So it's amazing to hear from you and to hear how competitive it is. I mean, 92 over asking and 14 offers, that's awesome on any given day. And I think in this market, that's even more. I can't say more about it. That's great. So we're gonna go over to Stacy. And Stacy, you're muted on mute. So we're gonna go over to Stacy, and Stacy's in Aspen, and she's gonna tell us all that Colorado has to offer us. Stacy, what's happening in that market?
Well, it's pretty warm, hence the computer just turned itself off. So
We have to move inside.
So we're here now.
Yeah.
So much for the beautiful view.
Exactly. So with the Aspen Snowmass Market, it's impressive how quickly Pickens County closed down, which is Aspen Snowmass. You know, as soon as the coronavirus really hit, Aspen Snowmass was right on the beginning stages going, nope, we're closing down. We're closing down immediately. And that just so happened coincided with March. And March is one of our biggest months to make money. In fact, gosh, we always kid around. People work for them to make a living until March. And then March, we actually make money. This year, we did not have that option. So our results came out from the Aspen Board of Realtors just yesterday for May. And yeah, pretty dismal. You know, looking at April and May for Aspen and Snowmass, we were about 50% off from what last year was.
Wow.
But if we look at what's under contract right now and what has closed even since June 1st, we're going to eliminate that 50% off very quickly. You know, probably by July, it looks like if we stay on the same trajectory, it's going to be not erased, but definitely we're going to hit our stride. And there's a lot of pent up demand. So we're seeing a lot of people come in right now for rentals. Oh my goodness, the rental market is just a little bit crazy. You know, trying to find a 4-bedroom under 35 grand for a month, not going to happen. So it's pretty impressive. And that's the first step for people when they're here. They kind of want to test it out, see how they like it for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. And then they start looking, and then we buy. And so it's going on the right direction. Starting this weekend, actually tomorrow, the gondolas are going to open up for our summer activities. We're going to have a lot of activities with the mountain biking, the hiking, the farm to table dinners. I mean, so many activities are going on. It's all just going to look different. And I think that's what all of our areas are looking at. You know, it's back to Abbey normal, for lack of a better term. But we are going to get back to normal.
Yeah, the new normal, right? Oh, wow, amazing. So, JC, I'm going to go back to you. Any properties that's on the market or coming to market that you want to share with us? You spoke just now that there were some on. I don't know if they're off the market now, pending, but what do you have on the market or coming to market that you'd like to share?
I have 2 listings, or I have 2 escrows right now. So like I said, they're in escrow, both amazing single family homes. And then I have some lease space in Hermosa Beach coming soon over the summer.
Okay. Any of them you want to tell us a little more? Give us some detail. You don't know. Someone might be listening and would love to purchase.
That's true.
So
what's coming soon? There are 2. It's a great building on Hermosa Ave, and it's office space. The previous office space was used for a yoga studio, but you could also use it for retail, use it for like esthetician, anything like that, or you could use it as an office space too. I think each one of them are, I just put my notes down, about 500-ish square feet. And they have a beautiful view of the Pacific Ocean, and you're right near the pier. So it'd be a fantastic place to work every day or have clients come and see you. And there's sufficient parking in that area with the way everything's set up, the way the building has everything set up. So yeah, if that interests anyone who's listening, they need to call me.
Yes, we will definitely be sure to let everyone know your contact after. Stacy, you said like sales have just escalated since June started, and we're only 11 days in. So tell me, what do you have on the market or coming to market?
Well, actually, just today, we launched 1084 Faraway Road. It's a great house in the Ridge Run subdivision. It has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 4,100 square feet. It has a great, almost 1,000 square feet patio on the back. And the 5th bedroom actually can be locked off. So it's great if you have multi-generational families that are coming through and, you know, need a little space. So they can do that because they have their own access and entry. The best thing about this is that it actually has Dial-A-Ride, which is a shuttle service available in the ski area in the ski time. So you just call up, it's like a taxi, and they'll take you anywhere in the village and back home. And it's just a great service. And so even though this isn't exactly ski on the ski slopes, it's pretty darn close and you don't have to drive. So it's great. Yeah, so that'll be up on our website at snowmassbrokers.com here soon if it's not already there.
Amazing. Thank you. Lance, how about you? What should we be looking for to come across to New Jersey?
Well, terrific homes with nice yards and access to universities and parks and mountains that New Jersey has to offer. Plus a ton of different restaurants from all different ethnicities are out here as well. Lately, I've been working with numerous buyers, particularly veteran buyers. I'm a military veteran myself, so that's one of my areas of expertise. And I've been working with some military buyers that have been renters, and they're looking to make that jump and become homeowners. And I'm working with them currently to make their dreams come true. I don't have any listings at the moment, but I'm ready to make that happen and become partners with a seller and make that happen as soon as it becomes available also. I work with buyers and I work with sellers out here.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. You know, both buyers are half the market. It's a great thing to have. Lots of buyers, just as important as lots of sellers. So they make half of the equation. Without the buyers, the sellers got nothing. So we always remember that, half the equation. That's my philosophy on it. All right, so you gave us a little bit about what's there in New Jersey. What can we expect? And now in Colorado, in Aspen, it's not, you know, it's not time to ski, that's like ski heaven, but that's not the time right now. What can we expect there?
Oh my goodness. There's an old adage that people come for the winters, but then they stay for the summers.
Ooh.
And it is so true. So true. So goodness, ever since we've been in lockdown, we have been fortunate enough to actually be able to go out on hikes and bikes. And now the fly fishing is getting good, the kayaking, the whitewater rafting. Gosh, it's just amazing. Something that we always thought was great is an app called Aspen Trail Finder. You can just download it and it will ask you a couple questions of like, okay, how far do you want to go? What do you want to do on it? Where are you? And it will give you a list of some great hikes that you can jump right onto. In fact, before you get here, just download it onto your phone and it's going to be the easiest way to access the outdoors, which is all about Aspen and Snowmass.
Okay, repeat that again so we can make
sure. Certainly, it's aspentrailfinder.com. I'll put it up as well.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Thank you. And JC, what can we expect now at the beach? Are the beaches open?
They are. So the Strand is open and the bike path is open. So now you can get out, you can do your walks, your bike rides. Beaches are open also. And a lot of people are out paddleboarding, surfing, swimming, and it's actually been very hot here. So even at the beach, it's been upper 80s. I think Tuesday, it was like 91 degrees here in Manhattan Beach. So, I mean, it's like really hot. It's perfect beach days.
Perfect beach days.
Wow.
It's been pretty hot here in the city as well. And No beach, but yeah, I was like, you got to get the air condition going. It's that time of year. It's that time of year, but that's wonderful. Okay, well, it seemed like there's a lot for us to come to visit Aspen still at this time, to visit Manhattan Beach, and to go across to New Jersey. That the Jersey Shore is there as well. So before we go, I just want to, we're wrapping up. We have a few more minutes, but Lance, you just mentioned that you work with a lot of buyers. What is one tip that you would give to a buyer?
You definitely, that's a great question. And that's so important for the success of the transaction, is to be prepared, to have a solid pre-approval, to have your financing set up, to be committed to finding that house, and also staying loyal to the realtor that you're working with. So the two or three or four of you together can be that solid team to start at the starting line and finish at the finish line, which is the closing table, as we all know. So basically, be organized, be committed, and do your homework and know what you want. It's much easier to search in a few different towns than to be jumping all over the place. Also, I'm sure you folks would agree with that.
Okay, thank you. So know what you want and be committed to it. And your brokers and I guess mortgage officers as well. All right, wonderful. JC, a tip for a buyer or a seller?
For a seller, I would say if you're contemplating listing, do not wait, do it now. And if you are a buyer, my advice would be if you really love the house, go in with a strong offer. Really, really come to the table with what you can do, and don't assume that you'll get a counter back and then end up at the price that you're actually willing to pay now. Because what I'm experiencing in this market is you may not get a counter. But if you really come in low, I mean, they may not counter everyone. So you don't want to miss out because you didn't actually put your best offer forward first.
Thank you. Stacey, how about you? Any tip for buyers or sellers out there?
Well, since most of our market is second homes, I would highly advise anybody who purchases out here to get a property manager. If you have a condo, hopefully there will be a condo association. Definitely hire them to watch over your property. Not only is it a better insurance policy to have somebody else here on the ground for you, it's also extremely important because we have such a small labor force to have somebody who knows who to call and to have that person call them back. So definitely get a property manager, or you can always call me, but I would go with a property manager.
Property manager. Oh, that's great advice. Well, I definitely want them to call you if they're thinking about buying in Aspen. And so I'm going to ask you to give out your contact information. Let us know what's the best way to reach you, should we need to. They can always reach out to me, but just in case, how can they get to you directly?
So Stacey K. Kelly, I'm with Douglas Elliman Real Estate in the Colorado area. You can go to our website, snowmassbrokers.com. Give me a call on 970-948-4694, or just stop by our office up in Snowmass Village. We're there. We're actually going to be starting to go there again next week.
Awesome. Thank you. And Lance, how can they reach you?
Okay. Well, I work for Christie's International, Northern New Jersey. My phone number is 917-447-7210. You could reach me direct, or just find me on social media. I'm definitely on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and everything else, which is so important.
Okay, great. JC, the final word.
Same social media or my website, jc@jcolson.com. Or I kept my dear to my heart 214 area code, which is Dallas, which will always be home. So 214-597-3008.
Great. Well, thank you all once again for participating this week. It's been awesome learning about what's happening in your backyard. And to our viewers, a big thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And join us again next week for another edition of Travel Thursday. Until we meet again, goodbye.
Good. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye,
Kaylin.
ladies.
Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.